Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. Hey girls, you want to know something really cool? I'm heading out today to see Freaky Friday for the first time in 25 years. And it's not even Friday, it's a Tuesday. I'm going on Tuesday because it's cheap day. And when I was a kid, I used to be able to get into a movie at a local theater that hauntingly burnt to the ground after I saw Nightmare on Elm Street 20 years ago for $5. And now, you can't even go to a movie with less than $50 in your pocket. Woe is me. Yeah, I'll be heading out today to see Freaky Friday starring Lindsay Lohan. I'm a really big fan of Lindsay Lohan. She was one of the first celebrities who made me famous on the radio over 20 years ago on my original show, talking about Lindsay Lohan and all the stuff that revolved around her life and made her famous. Big shout out to Lindsay. And big shout out to each and every one of you who have subscribed to this YouTube channel, putting up over 2,770 subscribers. Wow. Descendants and Zombies fans have come together to create something so beautiful over the last decade, and I don't ever want anyone to really bring your hopes down of ever seeing a new chapter of Descendants and Zombies, because so many girls have held on to the hope and the dream that we will get to the point where we will see Descendants 5, Descendants 6, Descendants 7, Zombies 5, Zombies 6, Zombies 7. So many people are discouraging you from your hopes and dreams of ever happening for you and becoming a reality, and I just wanted to put a stop to that by creating a really cool podcast where a guy would talk about how he suffers from a zombie infection every morning after fighting thousands of zombies, fighting them off, and killing thousands of vampires, which is a dream of mine to become a reality by the time we get to Zombies 5. Never fear, girls. Whatever's in that vortex, Jonathan Clarke is ready to go. He will kick the ass of it because I am well trained in how to kill a vampire. I've done a lot of stunts for a lot of different things that I've done over the years, although I've never had the opportunity to jump out of an airplane backwards, and I would love to do that, the whole Tom Cruise experience. And you girls can make that happen for me by hitting the subscribe button, so I can say, I'm coming, Meg, to save you from a zombie apocalypse. I always wanted to save Meg Donnelly from thousands of zombies in the midst of a zombie apocalypse, and the only way that's ever going to happen is if I get 50,000 likes or 50,000 subscribers put up on this YouTube channel. I will take either. I am really excited for the future of Descendants and Zombies. I was really happy that all of you girls had a fun time at the Zombies Descendants Worlds Collide Tour. It is the #1 trend being searched on YouTube, particularly the concert in Anaheim is receiving a lot of YouTubes. And I want to say thank you to everybody who made this so special. Not necessarily the people who were part of the cast, but the people who were part of the crowd who really brought this one to life. You girls really glowed. And I will say this for forever because it's one thing to put the emphasis on the stars, but it's the people that make this happen. The thousands of people who went to the Worlds Collide Tour and had the time of their lives and are still talking about it to this very moment. It's really cool reading down through comments on discussion forums and even on this YouTube channel of people who went to the Worlds Collide Tour who were so proud to be a part of something so special and so spectacular. And you have every reason to be proud of yourself. So too do parents who made this possible for their children to see this for the first time. If you have a child who went through the Worlds Collide Tour, my heart goes out to you because you sacrificed a great deal to make all their dreams happen for them. And I say this because I never had the opportunity to have a little girl of my own to go to the Descendants and Zombies World Collide Tour with and experience, but I know that if I would have had one, she probably would have loved Descendants and Zombies. But I know that each and every one of you have made this so special for me, and at least I have all of you to create these fun videos for. And somewhere out there, there is a soul that perhaps would have been my daughter who is very proud of me for having done that for each and every one of you. So as long as we can hold on to each other for a little while longer, and I can be the voice of Descendants and Zombies, that makes me so proud to have been a part of something so special. I was always a theater kid, and I always had a hand in stage productions like Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, A Midnight Summer's Dream, Dracula. Beautiful productions. One of my favorites of all time was Phantom of the Opera, although I fell down to the stage one night after fixing a stage light. Something really mysterious happened to the stage light. I think it exploded. So they called me up on stage from the computer, and the next thing I knew, I was dangling from a catwalk in fear of my life. Forgetting the thought of the scene in the Batman movie from 1989 where Jack Nicholson as the Joker was dangling for his life and he tried to make peace with Batman, and Batman just let him go and fell into a vat of acid. Thankfully, that did not happen for me, and I went on to produce many stage productions over the years. I've always wanted to share the stage with the thousands of zombies and dance on stage. So if you girls hit the subscribe button, you can make that happen for me. I remember one of the first Worlds Collide Tour videos I actually threw up on this YouTube channel. I was really disappointed I wasn't casted as the director and the writer and producer of the Descendants Zombies Worlds Collide Tour, because I, for one, was really excited that Disney was going to call me. I was waiting for the phone to ring off the hook, and I was going to get the opportunity to choreograph this thing. But unfortunately, that did not happen for me. But I just want to put it out there that if Disney is looking for a guy who knows what's up, Jonathan Clarke is always ready to go, and he is always prepared for a zombie apocalypse. Before I head to the movie theater today to check out Freakier Friday, starring Lindsay Lohan, gotta put that out there for Lindsay, because I haven't talked about Lindsay in over 20 years, and she probably wants to really kick my ass. But even though Lindsay wants to kick my ass, one can never be too prepared for a zombie apocalypse. So I have to head to the dollar store today and pick up the necessary essentials: food, water, medical supplies. I've got it all, and I'm ready to go. And for those of you who caught my latest Zombies video a couple of nights back, I was involved in one of the most severe thunderstorms in the history of this island. It felt like I was stuck on Jurassic Park, and I was about to be killed by thousands of dinosaurs, or zombies were going to get in through my window at any given moment. One should never be too obvious about a boyfriend that you may be in a relationship with who could be a zombie or turn out to be a vampire. When you least expect it, some of the scariest things happen. Like your boyfriend reveals to you that he can't go out in the sunlight because he's a vampire, because he has no special ring. Like Damon Salvatore and Stefan Salvatore, the Salvatore brothers from the Vampire Diaries. And that was a really messed up situation in its own right. Ian Somerhalder has never let me down from all the criticism I threw his way over 15 years ago when the Vampire Diaries was at the heights of his popularity. And don't even get me started on Twilight with how popular that was and how many times I would book Taylor Lautner for an interview and he would never show up on syndicated radio. Oh, some of these guys were so unprofessional. But, you know, I thought about all the times that vampire TV shows were so popular years ago. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Vampire Diaries, True Blood. And this really brought back a lot of fond memories for me. And I think this is definitely where Disney drew inspiration to create something like Zombies. Now, having vampires, seeing their introduction into the Zombies trilogy, if you would. It was a beautiful trilogy. I don't know how they're going to be able to do it without Meg Donnelly and Mila Manheim, because they look absolutely fabulous together. I know there was a rumor years ago about them apparently being involved in a relationship because they did live together. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, you know Mila Manheim and Meg Donnelly live together? What's up, man? Are you psychic? I just know they live together, and I know they went to see Deadpool 2 a few years ago. It was really cool. But I found it really cool that they actually did live together because they bonded while they were living together. So they understood better than anybody who probably would have been given these roles. And because they lived together and bonded and understood each other so great and so phenomenally, I think that's why Zombies was such a huge success. Because I remember years ago when they would go to these conventions expecting probably 50 people to show up, and 250 to 300 people would show up to a time. And that's when they knew that Zombies was a huge success, and staying calm, zombie on, would be something that we would never forget about. And 300 people eventually became 3,000. 3,000 became 13,000 and sold out arenas for the Worlds Collide Tour. Same thing with Descendants. Nobody ever thought Descendants was going to explode the way that it did. I certainly didn't think it was going to happen for Descendants the way that it did. I knew it was going to be something special, probably in the way of a High School Musical or a Hannah Montana series, but never as special as this, because so many people have been inspired by Descendants and Zombies, and I think that's really cool. I think it's really cool how we're touching each other's hearts, how we're supporting each other, how we're there for each other when we need a friend the most. When we're at our lowest points, the Descendants and Zombies fans come together because they hate to see each other with a broken heart, hate to see each other cry. It is so beautiful what Descendants and Zombies has done for our lives, and I can't thank you enough for the impact you have had on my life, because you have drastically changed it for what feels like forever. I will never forget, I know for certain, the impact and the imprint that Descendants and Zombies has left on my heart. What you guys have done for me is truly unbelievable. You gave me my life back. When I thought all hope was lost as a radio broadcaster or a YouTuber, you really gave my life back, because I have a lot of competition out there. I have a lot of YouTube channels uploading Descendants and Zombies videos. I have a lot of people who are celebrities like Logan Paul and Ryan McCartan, who hasn't uploaded a video in years, but he was uploading videos, and he had over, I think it was 113,000 subscribers. But somehow, some way, we came together, and Ryan's ridiculous videos where he would offer you relationship advice have been removed from YouTube, or he has not been uploading any videos in well over a year. So I want to say thank you so much for that, and that goal having been accomplished and realized for all of us. It's really a dream come true for me to be able to sit behind this podcast microphone and talk about your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars the way they have been meant to be talked about for what feels like forever. Because I feel as if you're going to criticize Descendants of Zombies, you shouldn't be on YouTube at all uploading your videos. What you should be doing is providing the fans of Descendants of Zombies something they can be happy to watch, something they can feel proud about and immersed in, because they too are a big fan of Descendants of Zombies. And I know thousands, if not millions, of Descendants of Zombies fans do exist, with over 10 million people subscribed to Facebook alone for Descendants of Zombies. Truly unbelievable. And I know the Zombies page has over 10 million people too, so that's 20 million in total. Some of the stars have over 480,000 subscribers on their Facebook fan pages and X accounts, like Ruby and Kylie. But I think that 450,000 followers and subscribers is a far cry from what it could amount to because of how much dedication and pride Kylie has put into all of her work. I've seen Kylie reduced to tears because of her points of view and referring to her fans as cuties pop up in videos on TikTok, and it really frustrates me because Kylie is so beautiful. I just got done watching a couple of Kylie Control's latest TikTok videos. It's nice to see her still posting stuff on TikTok, but I've wondered for the longest time if Kylie is actually Googling herself now, YouTubing herself, TikToking herself because of how many negative reviews and videos she's reading and seeing popping up on YouTube all the time. There is no worse feeling in the world knowing that you're underappreciated by fans or feeling underappreciated by fans. So it's really nice, it's really heartwarming when a girl reaches out, hits your like button, hits your subscribe button, subscribes to your channel, ups the count in subscribers, increases your likes because it tells you that she loves your videos. And I had a video uploaded a couple of days ago, and this was proven true, when over 11 plus people hit the like button, and over 500 plus views came in for one video about my predictions about Wicked Wonderland and the rumored release window, of course, which is suggesting summer 2026. So it's over a year away. We've got a year to wait, but I'm excited for this year because I'm going to join you on what's going to be an incredible journey as we lead you into the premiere of Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland and what will be left of the story to be told after this is finished, because there is going to be a Descendants 6. You know there's going to be a Descendants 6. There has to be a Descendants 6. You know what kind of plots will unfold, what kind of twists and turns will the plots take, what kind of characters will debut. Liamani Segura is coming in to replace Ruby Rose Turner, which I'm heartbroken over because I love Ruby so much. Wherever you are out in the world today, Ruby, I love you. Where art thou, Ruby? We need to be in a remake of Romeo and Juliet for 20th Century Fox. I'll be Romeo, you can be Juliet. I will kiss you at the end of the movie, wake you up from a slumber, minus the part where we shoot ourselves. Yeah. I love Ruby so much because I think Ruby was somebody whose time with Descendants was very short-lived. I think the character had a purpose, the purpose was fulfilled, and because the writers and producers felt as if the purpose was fulfilled, the character explaining the origin of the Queen of Hearts, which was simply what Ruby did in the minds of the writers and producers, her time with Descendants was no longer needed because it had been fulfilled. But I think that's really undermining Ruby and not really treating Ruby fair when Ruby is reduced to tears. Same thing with Meg Donnelly. Meg Donnelly wanted so bad to portray Supergirl in the live-action Superman movie because Meg Donnelly was not a part of the Superman movie. Superman, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm not going to see your movie today. I'm going to see Freakier Friday because it looks way better than Superman. The Superman story has been retold so many times, so I think that's the way Meg Donnelly has to look at it. But I think she would have been a far better portrayal of Supergirl than Millie Alcott. Let me just say that because I read a lot of reviews of Millie Alcott's portrayal of Supergirl. A lot of people really not feeling it, and I can see why. I've kind of closed the door on the Superman franchise in its entirety because Meg Donnelly had her heart broken over it, and she said that with an open heart and an open mind, really, on a lot of podcasts, and it really broke my heart. I hate seeing people like Kylie Contrell and Meg Donnelly crying all the time because I think they are incredibly beautiful and so full of life, so full of exuberance. So why should we come down so hard on them with so much criticism? Because this is what you're finding in all these Descendants of Zombies videos. And even the people that recorded concert footage from the Worlds Collide tour recorded the negative parts of the concert when people would make mistakes that people wouldn't necessarily notice, and they would upload them to YouTube, and it broke my heart because I feel as if you're going to say something about the Worlds Collide tour, you're going to say something about Descendants of Zombies, the least you can do is say something nice about it for the people who love it so much, because my heart really does go out to the people who love this franchise so much and who really give it life. I mean, you give us a whole new perspective as commentators on life, and I think that every other commentator on YouTube who doesn't devote he or she's time to talking about Descendants of Zombies dare I say, is missing out on a really incredible opportunity to know all of you and how you feel about people like Kylie, Ruby, Malia. Malia is really beautiful too. I know I don't talk a whole lot about Malia on this show, but I do remember seeing a lot of Malia's work, especially on the Are You Afraid of the Dark reboot and the past Descendants, The Rise of Red. Very fearless character, very beautiful character, really brought the daughter of Prince Charming and Cinderella from 1997 fame to life. I remember watching the original Cinderella in 1997 and Brandy's first portrayal and how emotional she became over it. The overflowing of emotion was truly unbelievable and unlike anything that I had ever experienced in my life. And I watched Cinderella probably 100 times after I saw it for the first time initially in 1997. I was a really big wrestling fan, so when wrestling wasn't on TV and Dad wasn't telling me wrestling was fake, I would watch movies like Cinderella Story, Cinderella from 1997, Cinderella Man, get the point? Everything's Cinderella. So when Dad wasn't kicking my ass for thinking wrestling was real, I was watching those movies. And he wasn't telling me, boy, go out and get a job at Taco Bell. Boy, go out and get a job selling T-shirts or something. You know, Dad was working at a laundromat. Dad always wanted me to prioritize my own life because he felt as if podcasting wasn't going to get me anywhere. But I sure showed him. I'm one of the most famous podcasts in the world right now. Word out, Dad! Hopefully, wherever he is tonight, listening to my voice, I know he's proud, listening and watching. He's really proud that all of you have subscribed to this YouTube channel, even though he probably still wants to kick my ass and is saying, hurry up and finish your video, boy. There are thousands of girls wanting you to hear your opinion on Descendants and Zombies, and take it for what it's worth. I'm hoping that my opinion about Descendants and Zombies is something that you can really run away with, and you can really appreciate, because I really do love these two franchises. Everything about it, from the script, the way it unfolded, the way the story was told, the way the music sounded, the way the dance numbers were choreographed, everything fell into place. You know, I've heard the reviews of how it felt like a Harry Potter musical, a Wicked production. I'm going to see Wicked for good in November. November 21st can't come fast enough for me. Shout out to Ariana Grande, very beautiful portrayal of Blended, a good witch. I loved her so much. And I think that these two characters in Wicked, beautiful. So having a guy who choreographed Wicked on board for Descendants made this just much extra special for people who originally remember watching the original trilogy, who I know are still really big fans of it, because there are people 6 years old who are being introduced to the franchise for the first time and having to go back and relive the original trilogy now thanks to Disney Plus, and feeling just as inspired as original fans were from characters such as Mal and Evie, Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, and because of their friendship. Both the friendships of Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson and Kylie Cantrell and Mila Baker and Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner since the age of 9, very beautiful. And I really love how this franchise has really brought friendships back together, and on the set of a show like Descendants, which has really given us a whole new perspective on life. Because I really appreciate when two girls have a bond that is unbreakable and they are inseparable, because I think that a lot of guys kind of just are friends for the sake of being friends. You know, you look at your guy friend, being a guy myself, and say, hey man, you're my best friend, and then you don't hear from somebody for 20 years. They never call you, they never write you, they never send you a message in a bottle. I had a friend who was an indie rocker years ago, and he chose his life as an indie star over being friends with me, and I've been waiting for a message in a bottle to show up on the shore for over 20 years. He left my house one day, and it's been 20 years, and he hasn't called me, pursuing his dream as an indie rocker somewhere in the world. So I don't know if he's going to win the heart of Dove Cameron or not, because he loves indie rocking so much, but it's something I wouldn't recommend anybody do. Choose indie rocking over your own life and your best friends, because a lot of people do that, but girls never ever do that, because they understand each other better. They connect with each other in a way I don't think any guys can really understand. And I know there are real idiots out there that will say, why are you spending so much time with your girlfriends? The reason why they're spending so much time with their girlfriends is because they understand each other better. They tell each other everything, idiot. And I think that if you understood that better, I think that the world would be a better place ultimately, because more people would have a profound respect for each other, and relationships would last longer indefinitely. I want to say from my heart to yours, this really is an honor to be able to sit behind this podcast microphone and talk about Descendants and Zombies in a way I feel it's been meant to be talked about and really shut out for forever. Because the opinions of Descendants and Zombies are really ridiculous. It really frustrates me when I go on YouTube every morning and I see these latest videos supposedly uploaded about Descendants and Zombies, which really make no sense to me. Because I've been a huge fan of Descendants and Zombies for all of my life. Hi, my name is Jonathan, for those of you who are new here, and it is an honor to meet you. You guys seem really sweet and really supportive and incredibly lovely, honestly. So because you're incredibly lovely to be in the presence of, I just wanted to create really nice videos for each and every one of you, and I won't say persuade you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I would be lying to you if I said I didn't want you to subscribe, because I really do want you to subscribe. I love when I see my subscribers always going up on this YouTube channel, because I think you guys really have a really honorable appreciation for Descendants of Zombies, if you could allow me to say that. And I never ever wanted to let you down when it came to my opinion about Descendants of Zombies, because this is a really beautiful franchise that is so full of life. And because you guys have really given me new meaning and new incentive to create all these videos for each and every one of you, when I felt lost at some of my lowest times, and you guys brought me back from out of obscurity, I just wanted to give you something special that you could hold on to, that you could believe in, you could trust in. Because I really do believe we'll get to a point where we'll see Descendants 5 released sometime between now and 2026, with production finally finished on that one. And we'll see perhaps an earlier release date for Zombies, because Zombies is suggesting it won't happen for us until 2027. I would go for a 2027 release date, because it will give me 2 years to draw up more subscribers on this YouTube channel. I love you guys so much, because your love is incredibly supportive. Your love is unlike anything else in the world, and your love really heals. When somebody feels lost, and I know this firsthand, if I can speak to every other guy who uploads videos about Descendants of Zombies, he or she, when I felt lost and were at some of my lowest points in my life, you guys really saved me, because I thought my career was over. I didn't think anybody wanted to hear my voice. I didn't think anybody wanted to take a chance on me, but all of you really did. All of you really brought me back from out of nowhere. I don't know if it was because you wanted a hero, you just loved the sound of my voice having something to do with Descendants of Zombies, and wanting it on a commentary for Descendants of Zombies. I'm not going to lie to you. There's always been something about my voice having been linked to the Descendants of Zombies soundtrack that really makes a whole lot of sense. And me saying in the script, Red, you'll find your light. I really do love Descendants of Zombies. I really do. And I just wanted to bring it to life in a way that it was meant to be brought to life for what feels like forever. And say things in the script like, don't worry, Red, you'll find your light. Ruby, please don't ever leave me. And so they all lived happily ever after. Everybody got what they wanted, but one shouldn't expect to mess with the fabric of time and not expect consequences. You didn't think this was the end of the story now, did you? Because this story is far from over. I love you so much, Red. I would love to have been the voice of the Princeton Descendants, and I think that's really cool. So, if you could hit the subscribe button and make all my dreams become a reality, I would really, really love you for it. Because the more subscribers that get put up on this YouTube channel, etching ever closer to 50,000, 50,000 subscribers, can help me realize a dream of becoming a full-time resident in Seabrook, which I really feel like I'm living, because I live near a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode at any given moment. And you really haven't lived until you live near a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode at any given moment. You really haven't. This really has been an honor for me. I honestly do live near a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode. That's the really messed up thing about this situation, because a lot of guys who upload and create videos about Descendants of Zombies wouldn't even think twice about living near a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode. And I really live 5 minutes away from a soda plantation and a chemical plant side by side. And this noodle shop, which I've seriously been thinking about applying for a job for, because I wanted to live the whole Kung Fu Panda experience and do the whole hi-ya kind of thing, in case my YouTube career didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. But thankfully, my YouTube career has turned out the way I wanted it to because of each and every one of you. And I honestly don't know where I would be without the love and support of each and every one of you. Thank you so much for never having given up on me when you very easily could, because the reality of this is you could be watching anybody else's video this morning on Descendants of Zombies, but you're watching mine, and I can't thank you enough for that, because your love and support is unlike anything that I've ever experienced in my life. It has truly been an honor for me to be able to upload and create these videos for you, and I just want you to know from my heart to yours that I really do love you so much. I feel like I can come on this show any time of the day or night, and I can tell you how I'm feeling. I can tell you what I'm going through, and you girls really have listened to me, and you've been incredibly supportive of everything that I've held on to and held so close in my lifetime, and this being one of the latest things that I've dearly fallen in love with. And because I've fallen in love with it, you girls don't have to worry. There will always be a video uploaded on this YouTube channel about Descendants of Zombies for you to watch. And it will be filled with great reviews and really nice reviews of Descendants of Zombies, which have been long overdue for the better part of 10 years. My greatest regret is that I wasn't here from the very beginning. I was uploading Descendants of Zombies videos occasionally a few years ago. Allow me to say that. But hopefully you guys can forgive me and know that I'm back forever now. and I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I will never go away on you, and I will always be here to create wonderful videos about Descendants and Zombies for each and every one of you, because that's what you've deserved for a very long time. So we're going to do this with an open heart and an open mind all throughout today. I will be heading out to see Freaky Friday later on this afternoon, but I will have at least one more video uploaded before I head out, and one final video tonight after I come home from the Freaky Friday premiere, which is something I'm really looking forward to. Until we speak again later on this afternoon, just keep your heart open and your mind open, and treat each other with kindness, because kindness really does go a long way in this world, as we all stay calm and zombie on, believing that forever has a chance of existing, and you will find, one can find, their true love. Trust in me, and I will never let you down, because you will find your life, because kindness really does go a long way for everybody when it's showed in this world.